Good morning, everybody.
Yes, madam, I'll start. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to this session of Master Knowledge Series EEE 4.0. Today, we would be dealing with IPF processes, filing for companies. And we have with us Mrs. Anita Shah Akela, madam, who is Joint Secretary, MCA, and CEO, IPF Authority. Then Mr. Ruvit Kumar, who is a Deputy Director at IEPFA, and Mr. Gaurav Gupta, who is also Deputy Director at IPFA. At the outset, ICSI, the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, commends the dedicated efforts being undertaken by Ministry to further strengthen the governance framework, I would say, and provide ease of doing business for all the stakeholders. ICSI through CLGS committee, which is headed by CS Manish Gupta ji, under the guidance of our Honorable President CS B. Narasimhan sir and Vice President CS Dhananjay Shukla ji. We all are taking various efforts to coordinate with Ministry for all the issues pertaining to the members and in its ongoing effort to enhance service delivery for stakeholders with greater ease and efficiency. Ministry had introduced its third set of company forms, and this webinar is the second webinar on IPF. They have typically introduced IPF-1, 1A, 2, 4, 5, and 5 E-verification report also, which was effective from 15th of July 2024. Why its notification dated 16th July 2024, Ministry has amended IPFA Accounting, Audit, Transfer and Refund Rules 2014, whereby the process of depositing the dividend amount with the authority has been changed through online mode of the authority to streamline the integration of these forms into MCA V3 portal and to provide more clarity on the new amended processes under IPF rules to the stakeholders. We are pleased to have three senior officers from IPF authority as speakers for today's sessions. I welcome Mrs. Anita Shah Akila, madam, who is Joint Secretary, MCA and CEO, IPF Authority. Shri Ruvit Kumar ji and Shri Gaurav Gupta ji, both are Deputy Director, IPFA. Members from LTI has also participated in this session so as to provide insights into the procedures for filing and also to address potential issues along with their probable resolutions. Certain subtopics which would be deliberated during this session, and I request all the delegates who are participating through this webinar to post all the queries and questions pertaining to these subtopics. Subtopics would typically be, let's say, registration of nodal officer or deputy nodal officer in version 3 and migration of version 3. Then dashboard functionality in V3 and filing of verification report in V3, including IPF-5, which is migrated now from version 2. Then filing of IPF-1, payment of miscellaneous through miscellaneous payment, that fees through NTRP, filing of IPF-2, 4, and the main thing is investor-wise Excel validation for IPF forms. With this big background of today's session, I welcome everyone to this webinar series and this particular webinar on the IPF processes and filing of companies. And I encourage all the participants to please raise their all queries so that we have command over these processes. With this, I once again welcome all the officers of IPF, IPFA and LTI. And I request Anita Shah, madam, to please address the delegates. Over to you, madam.
Good morning to everybody here. Thank you at the outset, let me thank ICSI to taking this initiative to connect us with the company secretaries and address the issues that they may have with the changeover of the form from V2 to V3. We do have, we have heard of a number of teething issues, especially insofar as the payment of dividend being linked to the IPF form is concerned, etc. So we worked out an SOP, and that will be discussed and informed to you through the course of this meeting. So I wish you all the very best. I'll be hanging around for some time to listen to all of you, whatever queries you would have. So we'll try and address whatever is possible for us, and we are grateful that the LTI team is also available with us in order to address your queries. So with this, I hand it over. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your esteemed presence.
Like
Recording in
about the
progress.
upgradation of the profile and other issues regarding the IPF and the new version V3. Now I request the Gaurav to explain in details. Gaurav?
Gauravji?
Hello.
हाँ गौरव.
Yes, sir.
हाँ अभी आप स्टार्ट करो.
Okay, so thank you for having me on this webinar. Under the Companies Act 2013. Somewhere in 2016, under the Companies Act, we have various rules which are governing the functioning of IPF authority, the basic of which is IPF audit, accounting and transfer and refund rules 2016. We have first GPR, government process reengineering exercise, in September 2019. Before that, the companies had to file verification report in the physical form. There was difficulty in tracing whether the documents have reached company. Company has filed the physical verification report to the IPF authority and whether it has reached IPF authority. It was a very difficult task even at the authorities level to segregate all the physical verification and process it. And there was information asymmetry in so much as that the company will not know what IPF has done, IPF will not know what company has done, and claimant obviously will be at loss. We had taken a initiative that we will get it filed through NCA 21, where everyone knows that what is the stage of processing. The claimant through his ID or the account through which he has filed the claim would know that whether the company has filed and whether it is pending with the authority. Similarly, when version 3 of NCA 21 came, we had learnings of past. In the learnings, we had some requests from the stakeholders, especially the companies which are our major stakeholders, to provide services to the claimants. They had a difficulty that we have two different processes of getting receipts of amount. The first process was through IEPF-1, which was basically that the amount which was in the unpaid dividend account of the company, which has to be transferred to IPFA after 7 years under section 124(5) of the Act 13, or other amounts which have to be transferred after 7 years of maturity under section 125(2) of the Companies Act 13. The second amount which we were receiving directly in our bank account maintained in the PNB, were the dividends declared on the shares held with the authorities, and the reporting was done in IPF 7. The of the what the feedback which we got was that why can't we both of them sync and we have a one form which is a STP form, and we can have a simultaneous process, similar process of receiving the amount for both these forms. So now we have merged IPF1 and 7 and rechristened it to IPF1. We will be taking the payment through NCA 21, which is now linked to the NTRP portal called Bharat Kosh. Once the payment is received in Bharat Kosh and it is now NCA 21, the form will be taken on the records in the registry on STP basis. We are trusting the companies that they are filing the correct form, they are giving us the correct filings, and just based upon the company intimation, we are taking the form on our records without any manual scrutiny. Now, I'll tell you why it is very, very important. What used to happen earlier was that the IPF-7 was checked manually and there was some time delay. So the claimants, when they were claiming, there might be some cases in which dividend has been transferred to IPF authority in IPF-7, but it is still pending approval of an officer and it has not been taken on record of the registry. In those cases, those dividends were not refunded to the claimants pending approval of IPF authority for IPF-7. Now, in all such cases, when the simultaneously approval in STP method will be taken on the registry, it will be a very, very good initiative for the claimant. It will be good for the claimant that they will receive all their dividends simultaneously through one single form. That is why this initiative was taken. Second major initiative was that NCA 21 has moved on to web form. So IPF authority has also followed that architecture. We have also moved all our forms to web form. There are provisions to say you can do the filings at your leisure. You can do the filings, you can fill part of forms, save it, then at a later date or at a later time when you have the data, you can reinitiate the process from the part where you had finished earlier. So this save button, which is the web forms are providing, gives a initiative or gives a momentum to all the professionals. They can probably, when they are filing the forms, they may have a thing that some other information is required. They can collect it and then they can proceed from the earlier session where they had left. Third initiative, which I think we have taken for the companies, is the Excel validation. Earlier, what used to be done in the NCA 21 version 2 was that you have to file the form, you have to make the payment, and then you have to attach the Excel through a Excel facility which we had in the 2. The Excel facility was working on a username password which was given on the challan. What used to happen was we had 7 chances for uploading that Excel, and the validation was done through a computer-based system. But somehow, if that Excel was not filed, the password used to get expired after that 7 days. And the companies had to come to IPF to reset that password. Now that Excel can be filed as a part of the form. So you have to just attach Excel in the form, and there is no separate process of Excel utility where you have to go after IPF authority or raise ticket to get that password reset. Third initiative which we have taken was on the side of claimants. There was an ask from the companies that they should have a dashboard for their nodal officer and deputy nodal officer where all the claims pending against the company should be visible. So that ask has been fulfilled in version 3, where we have a dedicated dashboard for the nodal officer and deputy nodal officers. All the forms, claim forms filed by the claimant against their companies will be visible. They are now some companies are facing a difficulty that only 250 SRNs are pending, but it is basically a legacy issue. We trust that with the support of the companies at any particular time, 250 SRNs would not be pending for filing of verification report, but we are working towards increasing this number also. So just by looking at your dashboard, you will be able to trace that how many claims are pending for verification at companies' end. The last initiative which I want to highlight is that companies were facing a difficulties that the claimant has filed the form but has not given the documentation to the company by sending it on their registered address. But at the last moment, at the 28th day or the 29th day, they were receiving those documents and the company was forced to reject it or pay additional fee. We have now come up with a utility of postal receipts. The claimant will have to submit a postal receipt of sending it to the company through their dashboard, through their user ID. The counter of the companies of 30 days will start from the date of the postal receipt. So you will have the SRN of the claim visible only after the postal receipt is filed by the claimant. Till that time, it is pending at the claimant end. So it will give a benefit to the companies that their counter of 30 days will be starting when a postal receipt has been sent. We trust in today's age and world, it will not take 1 or 2 days, maximum 2 days for the documents to reach you, whether it has been sent by courier or other means. So you will get full 30 days. You will get at least 25 to 30 days to verify those documents and file your verification report. With these initiatives which IPFA has taken with MCA 21, MCA's team, I will request now the LTI team, we have from the LTI team, Ms. Radha, who will be sharing all the initiatives in detail through presentation. We have uploaded all these presentation on IPF website. We have uploaded all the help kit. I will request all of you that before making any filings, go through these presentations on our website, on our help and FAQ link. Still, if you have any question, you can raise it here, or even at a later date, you can mail us, you can raise a FO ticket, and we will be able to help you. Thank you for having me here. And I will also be listening to all the conversations which are happening. I'll request now that the next participant from LTI team can share the presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Radha Sharma from LTI. So, Gaurav sir, shall we start with the PPT?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, our first issue is that nodal officers and deputy nodal officers of the company are not, they are facing issue for upgrading their profile as a nodal. So, for that matter, first they have to check their profile through profile update after login, because many of the users which I have seen, they have registered as a professional user, as all the most of the nodal officers are the company secretary or they are professionals. So they are registered themselves as a professional user. So that is why they are facing issue in upgrading their profile. So first they have to check their role in through profile update. So for that matter, they have to log in at MCA website through their user ID and password. And they have to check whether the role is professional or registered user. So if they are a registered user, they can easily able to upgrade themselves as a nodal officer if the IPF-2 for their appointment has been filed in the MC system. So, but if they register themselves as a professional category in business user, so they have to degrade themselves first as a registered user, then they will able to upgrade their profile as a nodal officer. So if you can see, their professional role is the user role is professional. So they have to degrade themselves as a registered user by raising ticket at MCA 21. So user can raise the ticket through MCA service, complaint section, create service related complaint. Here some of the documents they have to provide. They have to provide some KYC also and self-declaration to degrade their role in a system. So once the user role changed from the professional to registered user, they again have to check their profile, whether it is coming as registered or not. So now you can see my screen that user category is now coming as registered user. Now they'll again upgrade their profile as a business user and in the category of nodal or deputy nodal officer. One more thing I want to add here. If they are already registered themselves as a manager or secretary or authorized representative of the company, so they can upgrade their profile as a nodal or deputy nodal by add role functionality. So for that matter, they doesn't have to degrade themselves as a registered user. So this functionality is there that if they are already is a director, manager, secretary, authorized representative, they can upgrade their profile through add role functionality and they can register themselves as a nodal officer or deputy nodal officer. So through OTP, they can proceed further. So if the users are trying to upgrade themselves as a nodal or deputy nodal officer, and if their IPF2 is not filed in MCA system, so system will give an error that please enter a correct PAN for which IPF2 has been filed and approved. So their PAN must be associated with the respective company for upgradation of nodal or deputy nodal role. So once the upgradation of the user profile as a nodal or deputy nodal officer is done, the user should again check in profile update whether it is updated as nodal or deputy nodal or not, because now their profile, like they are facing issue, they are trying to upgrade themselves from professional to nodal, but they'll raise that we are not able to access the EVR because their user role has not changed, because they are not aware about that professional cannot be upgrade themselves as a nodal. They have to first degrade themselves as a registered user, then only they can upgrade themselves as a nodal or deputy nodal of IPF. So post upgradation they can access e-verification report form, and also if in V2 they have filed SRNs from the same email ID, that will also come in their dashboard in the pending for action or under processing as per their status of the SRN. Now, if the users are first time coming and register themselves as a nodal officer, if they don't have any ID in V2 or V3 against their PAN, so they have to select directly a business user category and use their own nodal officer IPF, or they can select nodal deputy nodal officer role also. Post that they have to enter their personal details, and the email ID and mobile number should be unique. So they should ensure that no account is already exist in the system with the same email ID and mobile number. Otherwise, they have to upgrade that account only for that matter if they have already account exists with the same email ID and mobile number. Now, after entering the password, unique password, then click on create my account. Through OTP verification, the profile will be updated as nodal officer and they can register themselves as a fresh and a nodal officer in MCA system. So this is the upgradation of profile as a deputy nodal officer. As I already told that many users are registered themselves as a professional user, so they have to degrade themselves as a registered user, and then they can able to access upgrade their profile as nodal or deputy nodal officer of IPF. And please ensure that the PAN for which they are upgrading their profile, that should be associated uh, through IPF2 as a nodal or a deputy nodal appointment. So that is from my side. Any Gaurav sir, can we proceed for questions?
Gaurav ji?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, you are ready,
Or
audible.
I'll start a merge V2 to V3 ID PPT.
Yeah, you please complete the presentation first, then we will take the
Okay.
question.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So our next PPT is procedure for merge V2 with V3 ID. So many users are facing issue that how they are not able to access the V2 SR in their V3 dashboard. So because they are not merging their V2 ID with V3 ID. So for that matter also they have to log in at MCA website and go into profile update section. Please
Radha,
making
can you please
sure
share the PPT on the screen?
my screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, your screen is visible, but it is showing procedure for upgradation of profile as nodal officer or
That
deputy.
I have completed, sir.
Yeah. So the
So
next PPT which you have started is
yes, sir.
visible on the screen.
Is not visible, sir.
No, not visible.
Okay, I'm again sharing, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, is it visible now?
Yeah, now it is visible. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, so our next PPT is for procedure for merge V2 ID with V3 ID at MCV3 portal. So we are facing we are receiving multiple complaints that stakeholders are not able to access their V2 SRN at their V3 dashboard. So they are not merge their V2 ID with V3 ID. So for that they have to log in. Like they can do by two ways. If they have already have a V2 user ID, so they can log in with V2 user ID at V3 portal. If they face this error, the username and password do not match, they have to forget their password, and post that they can uh, log in with V2 ID at V3 portal. It will work. So this is a process. There is OTP verification in our user registration at V3. So post OTP verification, they'll get a OTP at mobile number and email ID both. So they can enter any OTP here. Post that, they have to create a new password. And they'll try to log in with V2 ID and password after resetting their passwords. Post that, user, if they log in with V2 ID at V3 portal, they have to go to My Application on their application dashboard. In pending for action or under processing, they'll access their V2 SRN which they have filed through their V2 ID. Now the other way is users can log in through V3 user ID also. If they have a V3 user ID, so they'll log in through V3 user ID and go to profile update, and there is option of merge V2 ID. If you can see the below, there is an option of merge V2 ID. They can click on it and enter their V2 ID. One pop-up is come. User has to enter their username password of V2 and post that. One informative message will come that it will merge within 24 hours of this merging. So user has to wait 24 hours for merging V2 to V3 ID. Post that, they will able to access their V2 SRN at their application dashboard. So here with us Balram Thakur from NTIM, who is handling this user registration module. So Balram, are you there?
Yes, Dada.
So can you please proceed if I missed anything which you want to inform to the stakeholders?
Yeah, okay, so we have received approx 4 types of complaint where the user is claiming that I have filed some IPF-5 in the V2 system that SRN is not visible in the V3 system. So as we observe that user has not merged their V2 ID in the V3 system, and also they are not upgraded their role, the required role, that nodal officer and deputy nodal officer. In that case, as you observe that SRN is not visible in the my application. So requested to all stakeholders, if you have already logged in the V3 system with V2 ID, then please update their role as a nodal officer and deputy nodal officer. Then you will be able to do the e-verification, and also you will be able to see the all SRN number which you have filed in the V3 in the V2 system. Okay, so if your role is not updated as per the required role, in that case you will not able to file the e-verification report. And second thing is, as we observe that user is saying that I'm not able to merge a V2 ID in the V3 system. In that case, we observe that user is not entering the correct password of V2. Okay, so request you to all stakeholders, please enter the correct password of V2 system, V2 user ID in the V3 merge functionality option. Then you will be able to merge that V2 ID in the V3. And third query is also we are getting that they are created user ID as a professional role, but now they want to upgrade their role as a nodal officer and deputy nodal officer. In that case, they are getting successful message, but the profile is not updating. So request you to all stakeholders, please create a complaint with your self-declaration with KYC document. Then we will degrade your user ID as a registered user. Then you will be able to upgrade their role as a nodal officer and deputy nodal officer. Okay, and fresh user ID in some stakeholder also getting the error that at the time of creating user ID in the V3 system, they are getting error that email ID already exists in our record. So in that case, please use the unique user ID, unique email ID, and mobile number for creating a fresh user ID in the V3 system. So this is from my side, Radha. If you have any question from any stakeholder, then we can provide the clarification.
Okay, thank you, Balram. Thank you for informing the information. So I think we have completed AB topics, so we can proceed for question answer session.
Surely. So there are various questions received. I'll take one by one. Let's say I will first take up for investor-wise Excel validation of IEPF forms. The queries related to that.
No, we are doing it session-wise question answer. So we can take a right now of the nodal officer registration. I think that is the only thing which has been covered.
Okay, no issues. Nodal, yeah.
Nodal officer.
So no issues. I'll take up those first. So dashboard functionality in V3 and filing of verification reports in V3, including IPF-5 migration from V2, correct? So I'll take up on this. Let's say error in filing VR and VR means verification report on let's say V2 portal on V3. There are errors. So with the help of explanations which you have provided in your presentation, will this error be corrected or resolved?
Yes, sir. It will be resolved, sir.
Okay.
Because users are trying to upgrade the profile from professional to nodal, so that will not work. So they have to first degrade themselves as a registered user. Then they will able to upgrade themselves as a nodal or deputy nodal.
Great, great.
Yes.
Thank you. Next question on the same thing is additional fees paid for IPF-5, okay, E-verification. Even when MCA circular dated 16th July 2024 had waived off the additional fees till 16th of 2024. But there are additional fees which were coming while filing IPF-5 E-verification.
So this is basically not related to this. I'll answer this because the circular was intended, like all our circulars of MCA are, that for the period for which the portal is not working, say for our example, for 4 to 16 July, for those cases where the days or the due dates are falling between these two dates, the relaxation was given till 16th August. It was not given for prior compliances or for post compliances. So I think this may clarify the issue.
Okay, Gaurav. Then the question says that whether the special contingency insurance policy towards the risk arising out of the duplicate claim cover the special contingency with respect to IPF cases.
So again, this is a policy question which it is on the notification which we have sent. So the SEBI circular of May 2022 have relaxed some procedures. The first procedure which they have relaxed is that now legal headship certificate will be counted equivalent to the succession certificate which has been issued by a civil court or a high court on civil side. And then there are requirements that for taking the duplicate shares of physical filings for physical shares, FIR has been relaxed that you need not file FIR, which is basically a lost and found FIR till 5 lakhs, then sureties are not required. So SEBI has asked the listed companies that though it's a measure for ease of doing business as well as ease of living, the government has taken it as a trust-based model that citizens are doing everything on for a correct cost. The government has relied basically on the companies as well as the citizens. There may be cases which may go wrong. For those, the companies can take a contingent insurance, a professional insurance or professional indemnity, which all the professionals take. So SEBI has mandated it in their circular, and we have also mandated it now under rules that a professional or a secretary being a nodal officer is verifying a claim, is doing it in good faith. But something can go wrong in verification also. Something are out of control. For those, they may, as per the SEBI circular, obviously it's applicable on listed company. Now for all the companies which are doing verification for IPF claims are mandated to take these insurance so that if something goes wrong after processing the case in good faith, then they have a backup.
Okay. The question says that, as explained, let's say in V3, if we change or downgrade the role of nodal officer to registered user, then how to file other V3 forms using the same DSC, which...
Rather, this is for you. I have got some questions that there is an issue if the company secretary of a company is both a nodal officer for IPF as well as filing all the other compliances form on NCA 21, whether it is certified by a practicing company secretary or not, as per the rules applicable, how to do switchover. So please explain it, and if possible, if we can show the demo, it would be good.
So, sir, as I've already mentioned that if they are a company secretary in employment of a company, so they have to register themselves as a manager secretary role in system. After that, they can add role. There is an add role functionality. So through add role, they can upgrade themselves as a nodal or deputy nodal. So erroneously, they have registered themselves as a professional user in system. So professional user category is for the professionals who are in practice. So as per current functionality, they have to upgrade themselves as a manager secretary role. After that, they can add role for upgrading their profile as a nodal or deputy nodal. So they can access all the forms at MC21.
So essentially what we are saying is that a practicing professional is a different role under NCA 21 than a person who is in employment.
Correct,
A
sir.
person is in employment has to surrender his certificate of practice, if I am right, as per the rules of the concerned institute. So the person has to register himself as a manager secretary as well as nodal officer. So there is an add role functionality which is available, and by switching on a click of a button, he will be able to switch and file both the type of forms. So that is to see the dashboard. So rather, do we have this slide on our in any of our PPT where it is shown, or probably if we can show a demo?
So add role functionality is there. So demo is
Can you show it on the PPT if you have where it is, if
so let me check.
handily available? Otherwise, we will again share it through the our website. But if you have it handily available, it would be it is always advisable that you show it on the website. If you have it handily available, you can show. Otherwise, we will share it through our website.
Sir, it is not available handy with me, so I'll share it post this webinar to the website. But this functionality is already there. I think it is from beginning it is there, the add role functionality, because for director role and for manager secretary role, they can using the add role functionality in MC system if they are associated with the company.
So we will be posting it post our webinar. Give us time till tomorrow evening on our website, this functionality, and we will be sharing it with the ICSI also, the PPT. All our PPTs are in public domain, or everything is
Yes,
in
sir.
website.
Yes,
Whatever we are talking today is already uploaded on website or will be uploaded. Everything
Yes,
we are doing it transparent.
Thank you, Gauraji. On the same lines, the people are also requesting to allow the add role as a nodal officer and professional user in V3, so that there is no need to raise the tickets on MCA and it can be done.
So I'll tell you what is the issue as far as law is concerned. Now, who can be appointed as a nodal officer is defined under Rule 7.3 of the IEPF AATR rules, as we call, which is Audit Account Rule. If I read from the rule verbatim, rule number 2A, 7, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rule number 7, subsection 2A is every company which is required to credit amount or shares to the fund or has deposited the amount or transferred the shares to the fund shall nominate a nodal officer who shall either be a director or chief financial officer or company secretary of the company for the purposes of verification of claims and coordination with IEPF authority, provided that a company may appoint one or more officer as deputy nodal officer to assist the nodal officer for the purposes of verification of the claim and for coordination with the authority, provided further that the nodal officer shall be solely liable for all actions of any officer appointed as deputy nodal officer, provided also that in case a company fails to appoint nodal officer, every director of the company shall be a nodal officer and shall be liable for any failure to comply with the requirement of these rules. So essentially the rules as stands today as we are speaking is that nodal officer can only be a director or a CFO or a company secretary, not a practicing professional. Why it has been built so? It has been built so because the company is required to indemnify the authority in case of any incongruity in the verification report as per 711A. Rule number 7, subsection 11 and A. So the company can only indemnify on the behalf of a person who has an agent relationship with the company, master agent relationship, which can only be of an employee, not of a practicing company secretary. That is why we have not allowed a practicing company secretary to file verification report on behalf of a company. The system has been built up so add role functionality can be given accordingly. But if there is any issue, practical issues or otherwise, we request that you get in touch with the ICSI and the CS Institute or any other institute for that matter. We welcome any recommendation for in the rule or the system. We will take it positively if there are any practical difficulties in following these and if there is a better solution. I hope it clarifies.
Yes, very well, very well. Thank you. While changing the role, basically other issues related to nodal officer registration modification. One query is unable to change the gender of the nodal officer. Might be they have mistakenly selected the gender and now they want to correct that gender in the profile. It is not allowing.
So, in through user registration or it is in IPF2, sir?
In the related to nodal officer registration, details of the nodal officer.
So, Balram Thakur, are you there?
No, so I'll clarify. So a user registration, business user is different, and IPF2 user is through IPF2 form. So if it's through IPF2, you can update your details, the basic details, not the name and the PAN number, through filing a update request through IPF2. For user registration, that is business user registration, I will hand it over to the LTI.
Okay, so sir, if user has selected wrong gender, and if they want to correct the gender in the profile option, then they need to create a ticket. We will degrade their user ID as a registered user ID. Okay, then they will be able to edit all the details except email ID.
Okay, understood. The similar issue related to nodal officer modifications. The question says that when the form is being downloaded for updation of details, some of the information is not shown after downloading. Some of the information is also wrong. Okay. And then we are not able to update the details of nodal officer, and that's why it is not getting linked through MCA for IPF claims.
Sir, this might be a technical issue. So user can raise a request at MCA 21. So we are resolving these kind of issues.
So I think essentially it's a basically one of an issue, and
Yes, sir.
which data, as I said, that there are primary keys in every form. The primary key, as I understand, is a PAN number and the name, which can't be changed. A father name is also there because PAN is verified on three attributes. That is the name, the father name, and the date of birth, which we can't change obviously until and unless you appoint a new nodal officer. For other issues, if there is a specific case, we'll request that you raise an FO ticket, you bring it to the knowledge of authority as well as to MCA through ICSI, and we will be happy to help you.
Okay. Another question says that not able to register my DSC as nodal officer of the company. The error I get is no PAN exists in the portal or system, and it always create non-compliance on my company's part. I raised several tickets over MCA, but no resolution provided till date.
LTI team, will you take it up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you are getting error at the time of associating DSC that PAN details is not available in our record, then you need to check the IPF2 form whether you have entered the correct PAN and that is associated with your company's TIN or not. Okay, if that is not associated, then you need to file IPF2 form and appoint a nodal officer. Then you will be able to associate their DSC with the correct PAN. Okay, and if you have already created a ticket, then we will provide the details with your PAN details.
Yeah, so again, the request would be that one of the cases, because as we speak of the data, we have about 6,000 nodal of verification report filed in the version 3. So there may be some specific issues which we need to resolve personally. So I'll request the user to get in touch with the ICSI team and we will be happy to help them personally. It may be a case where, as he says, that IPF2 of may not be correct, or there may be a migration issue or there may be a system issues, or there may be a DSC issue. So it will have to be dealt personally, I think so.
Okay. Can we add this in FAQs or some clarification on the web portal? Because many people are facing this issue.
If it's a generic issue, we will be able to clarify. I think if this DSC PAN mismatch issue is a generic issue, as
No, basically 2-3 questions are relating to that only. That error is no PAN exist in the portal system, and it is also saying that they have raised several tickets over MCA.
so I
No
think
resolution.
Sir,
yeah,
we have already covered in PPT that I've already shown to the
can we repeat
stakeholders
it?
that
Can we repeat it? Can we
yes,
repeat it?
yes,
Rather, please
yes,
repeat it.
yes, sir.
So, and other issues like 4 issues, if please forward it, the company names and the tickets, will get it resolved.
Okay. I request the delegate who have raised this issue to please send this query with a screenshot and everything on Companies Act 2013 at icsi.edu, so that ICSI team can take it up with IEPF and MCA.
So if the IPF2 is not filed by the company for appointment, so the user get an error. Please enter correct PAN for which IPF2 has been filed and approved. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Yes, but for the DSC updation for V3,
Yeah.
Sir, if they add role is there now, if they have DSCs associated as a company secretary, then as a nodal officer, so if through add role they can able to access the form with the DSC.
No,
Error will not come.
Radhaji, you are showing it for IPF2, correct? But the
Yeah, for DSC.
Query is relating that not able to register DSC as a nodal officer.
So I think, sir, it's a one in a issue. So user has to create a ticket because we are not receiving these type of tickets. Like so many tickets we are not receiving. So I think they have to raise a ticket at MCA. We'll definitely look into it. Along with, I request to the user that they have to attach screenshots of the issues also. So it will easily, like within a short period of time, it will resolve.
I have asked the delegate who has raised this question to please share all the details with Companies Act 2013 at icsi.edu, so that our backend team from ICSI can coordinate and get this resolved. Thank you. One more thing, not able to file e-verification form even after changing the role as nodal officer.
Sir, again, they have updated from professional to this nodal, so that role will not change. So I request to the user, please check their role in a profile update, whether it is coming professional or nodal officer. So if it is coming as professional, so they have to degrade themselves as a registered user. Then only they can able to update as a nodal or deputy nodal.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Request you to allow new ID V3 for nodal officer on behalf of the company or individual rather than adding role in the professional V3 ID is the query.
So this can be probably a ask which is there. As I told you, the act and the rule as it stands today is very clear, but we are open to any further ideas, because what we have implemented was the ask from the industry that probably a practicing company professional can file other compliance forms, but why it can't file the IPF forms, especially the verification report. Other forms obviously a professional can file for a company, but if still a ask or there is some requirement, there is some practical issues, we request ICSI that probably they can send across a justification. We will be considering a change in the rule, but as it stands today, what is in the rule we have implemented.
Okay. I have received a fresh set of questions on the same thing. How to register? I'm just going back.
I'll request that we can have the second thing also done. Otherwise, we will end up having a question answer round. So Till that time, probably your team can jot down that if it's the same type of a question, we can what we have planned is that we have planned the session A and B is the nodal officer, C, D, E is what is our company filings, that IPF-1, 4, where the PCS or practicing company secretary or practicing professional can also file, and last is the validation issues. So after the B session is complete, we will take all the questions related to the nodal officers, whatever
Okay.
is left.
Okay. So
Radha, can you,
which question should I take now?
so we can move the second PPT. I think Radha, you have completed the how to file verification report.
Yes, sir.
You have
Yes, sir.
completed.
No, sir. No,
Ah.
only upgradation of nodal and V2, V3 merged.
So you complete that how to file verification report, then we will take up all the questions related to the verification report and the nodal officers, whatever is there.
Okay, sir.
Done. Okay.
Okay, complete the verification report.
Sure, sir. So is my screen visible?
Yes. Procedure for IPF-5 E-verification.
So, so for waveform IPF-5, that is to be filed by the stakeholders, by the claimants who are claiming their shares or dividend from IPFA. So once the pending for submission of postal receipts has been completed by stakeholders, and the status of SRN of IPF-5 will be changed as pending for E-verification report. Then it will come into the queue of the nodal officer of the company, nodal or deputy nodal officer of the respective company. So nodal officer, deputy nodal officer has to log in at MCA 21. So in their application, my application at application dashboard, pending for action, the SRN will come in the queue. We have display the nodal officer upgradation here also. So I think it is there at the website. So the SRN is coming in a pending for action tab of nodal officer dashboard. And it is coming under status of file e-verification report. So through this button, nodal officer can click on file e-verification report and the e-verification report waveform will open. So they have to select original or resubmitted claim as per the claim status. If claim is coming under resubmission required, so they have to select the resubmitted claim. Enter the IPF-5 SRN. The from field number 2 to 5, the information will be auto pre-filled from the SRN. The name of the company, and the company, that nodal officer has to select whether company or bank has been amalgamated or not. So if they select yes, so they have to enter the SIN or BCIN of the amalgamated company here in field number 2D. And the applicant details will be auto pre-filled from the IPF-5 form. So they have to select equity or preference, what is the type of security. Then the depository, they have to select whether it is NSD or CDSL or others. So if the field number 8 is for recommendation, they have to select approve or reject it. So if they select approve, some of the fields related to approval is coming. And if they have select, so some of the fields related to rejection remarks will come. And they have to enter the rejection remarks, whether it is for the CML is not provided, whether bank checkleaf is not correct, or etc. These type of remarks they have to enter. So the field number 9 is for details on claim, 9 and 10. So either of the field is mandatory for to enter. If the user is select approved option, the nodal officer are selecting approved in field number 8 recommendation. So either of the field, whether 9 or 10, they have to enter something. Otherwise, if some of the user have shares only or some of the users have dividend only, So they can enter just zero in any of the field. That field will not be displayed. Otherwise, if they proceed further to the next, the error will come that please enter the relevant detail. So if they don't have any details of challan or shares, they can enter 0 in 9 or 10 and they can proceed further. But both cannot be 0 if they are selecting approved and recommendation. I hope it is clear.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so with this field, the claimant bank details, they have to select yes or no accordingly, and they can proceed further. Now in optional attachment, we have receiving multiple tickets that users are not able to enter the like this size is very less. User are not able to attach their attachments because they are so big. So earlier it was that they are able to attach each file size as a 2 MB, but now it has been resolved. User can attach up to 10 MB file size here. So whether there are multiple attachments, whether there is one attachment, so total up to 10 MB is allowed to attach here. And this e-verification report is only to be signed by the nodal or deputy nodal officer of the company. Once it is submitted, the status will come as pending for DSC upload. Status will come as edit form, download PDF, upload PDF, and cancel SRL. And status will come as pending for DSC upload and payment. So user will download the PDF, attach the signatures, and then upload the form accordingly and pay the fees. Requisite fee which is coming through MCA 21. Once the fee has been submitted, so it will come under the under processing section. Both IPF-5 and E-verification report will come under the under processing section, and it will go into the queue of back office user, which is IPFA, for their further processing. So this is the flow of E-verification report. And you were able to validate that at the later date. Initially, issue आया था. Now we can have a question answer session.
Surely. IPF e-verification report, few questions. Nodal officer designation upload. Despite multiple uploads, the system does not reflect the designation of the nodal officer as uploaded. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. I think they are not upgraded themselves as a nodal officer, I think, I suppose. So I cannot understood the query correctly. So can you please?
It is saying nodal officer designation upload. Okay.
Okay.
And the query is
designation can be updated through filing a new IPF2. If they have filed an IPF2 for updation of nodal officer, suppose somebody was the general manager and now has become an executive director, the person is a KMP, is a CS, but his probably his designation has changed in the company, so he has to file an IPF2 for updation. If he has filed for updation an IPF2, give us the SRN number, and then we will see why it is not reflecting correctly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Then second query relating to IPF e-verification report. IPF-5 form download issue. IPF form cannot be downloaded, preventing the filing of the e-verification report.
Sir, earlier it was the issue, technical issue, because we are not allowed to download, we were not allowed to download the PDF filing in a different dashboard to the nodal officer dashboard. But now it is resolved. User can download the PDF again, so they are able to download. It is resolved, sir. Yes, sir.
But it's still, if somebody is facing the company name and the nodal officer ID, we will be able to help.
Okay, okay. So for all these information, I request the delegate who has raised this question to please send their details on Companies Act 2013@icsi.edu. Third question related to that, invalid DSC error. The DSC is showing as invalid when attempting to upload the e-verification report despite being valid and used in other filings.
So I think it's an intermittent issue. User has to clear their caches before attaching the DSC. I think this will be resolved.
So
Yeah.
these are the technical issues for which I will request that they can send a F4 ticket, company name and the username to ICSI, and the ICSI team is sitting with the LTI MC21 team, the backend team that is resolving the tickets. So we can have why these tickets have been resolved or not resolved, what is the feedback. So we can have a one-to-one feedback, because probably 2,000 odd companies only for IPF filing. So we can give probably one-to-one, we can resolve any issues which is there.
So Gauravji, this goes also for IPF-4 the same way?
IPF-4 we are still to discuss IPF-4 filing. The nodal officer, deputy nodal officer role and e-verification report roles, if there is some other issues, we can take it up.
Okay, no issues. Few members has said that IPF-5 are not getting approved. They have uploaded for many days now and still IPF-5 are not approved.
Yes. We do have pendency. We will be more than humble to accept that. We're trying to resolve these issues, as that the companies mostly are private companies. They have some bit of discretion available while approving or rejecting a claim. But for the government, whatever is a rule for one person, it is the same for the other. When we have notified rules, we can't even have 1 inch of deviation from them. We have taken, as you said, in September only, we have notified a new rules. MCA has been kind enough, ministry has notified the new rules where we have relaxed these provisions, which were relaxed under the SEBI provision earlier. So with this, we hope that the pendency, at least for a common claimant of up to 5 lakhs, will subside, and we will be able to approve and provide services at a faster rate. Till that time, we'll request that you bear with us, and we are taking all the steps under our command to reduce the pendency, and that at IPFA.
Okay. Also, in form IPF-5 verification is not reflecting on profile and IPF re-verification cases, which can see but unable to edit and resubmit.
Rather, this is for case of resubmission of EVR.
Re-verification cases.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, this is due to they are not merging their V2 or V3 ID. So once they merge their IDs V2 to V3, so it will resolve, sir.
But the stakeholder is saying that he is able to file the VR, fresh VR, but not able to file the resubmitted VR.
Correct.
So they can file through if they are accessing through MCA services through e-forms, so they can redirect to this. They can redirect through MCA services through IPF services, and they can file IPF-5
But the
E-verification
question,
form.
as I understand today, correct me, Pavanji, if I am wrong, is that there is a dashboard on which a claim form is there. The person has submitted the verification report once, but it has now come in the discrepancy. So he is trying to submit a revised verification report, which he is able to submit.
Correct.
So, LTI team, do you have any?
Yeah, so Gaurav, sir, in that case, user need to again navigate to my application and then they need to click on the pending action tab. Okay, then they will be able to see that SRN number which is marked as resubmission, and then they will be able to edit that SRN for the resubmission, sir.
They are saying that they are not able to edit. So,
Yeah, so they need to first they need to check the role. If role is nodal officer and deputy nodal officer, in that case, they need to again click on the my application option, and they need to click on the pending action tab. After that, they need to click on the SRN number which is marked as a resubmission, and then they will be able to proceed.
I think without going into the specific, my understanding would be that there may be issues in version 2 to version 3 migrations. So it would be beneficial if we can have the SRN number and the company name if there are some issues, because it may be a migration issues if I am able to understand it correctly. So
Sir, adding one more thing, the user's ID also.
user ID might have changed from V2 to version
Yes,
3.
sir. Yes,
No,
sir.
without changing that thing, without adding the nodal officer, they cannot file the verification, or
Yes.
the verification won't arise. So I don't think it is the issue. I think it must be the issue of not migrating V2 with V3, and that is why this re-verification is not getting through, because
Yes.
query is saying that they are not even able to edit or resubmit. So what Balramji or what Radha madam is saying, I think it is the basic thing that people, unless and until they are nodal officer already, they are registered and filed those forms. So re-verification is the last stage, I would say, as a nodal officer.
So
Claim.
is this a case? Is this a case? Probably is this a one-off case, or a nodal officer is not able to submit revised verification report for all the cases, whether it has come into V2, V3. So that
more than 10 questions on the similar
on the similar line. So give us the company name and the SRN numbers. We will check it up and we will get back to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Another relating to IPF, again, it is a suggestion kind of thing. Can a PCS file IPF-5 through his V3 user ID on behalf of an investor, or do we have to create separate user ID and password for V3 for each investor who are trying to claim?
I think second option is better.
No. Let me answer that. Let me answer it from the policy perspective. As things stands today, we do not recognize a professional for filing a claim. Claimant is the person who has the dues from IPF authority. Now it is between the claimant who decides with the professional whether he is taking his service as things stands today. The claimant has a footprint, has his coordinates of a mobile number or an email, which he will provide while opening his account. What we recommend is that he use the same coordinates while filing an IPF-5 for a thorough checking. But suppose he says that I am not a tech-savvy person, a senior citizen, or a person who may not have time, who may not have probably I will not say ability, but other things that he would say that I don't want to do it myself. So he may at his option select. Now it would always be better, because as I told that the things, whether this is approved, where it is pending, will be visible through the same email ID, the same account. Now it is at the option of the claimant. Claimant is defined the person who has something due from the government, from the IPF authority. It is his option whether he wants to fill which mobile number, which account. Obviously, he will not use the practicing company secretary's email and mobile number while opening his bank account or demat account. He will be using his own. So it is at his option currently. Probably the institute can suggest and come around how we can help the people who want help. there may be cases where people are not able to do it themselves, so they require help. How to formalize it? We call upon the professional institutes, be it bar council, be it the CA institute, the CS institute, how to go about it, and we will be open to hearing it and probably bringing it on the rule on the table where everybody knows what is going around.
Okay. Sir, one very interesting question. Shall I move ahead? Hello, Gauravji, I think you are on mute.
You can ask all the questions about IPF-5 verification nodal officers, then we will move for the company file.
Yeah. So IPF-5 only. Very interesting question. That is, when a merger or demerger happens, as on the record date, the IPF is also one of the shareholder. And while allotment in the transferee company, the shares gets allotted to IPF automatically. But when any shareholder tries to claim the shares in the transferee company by filing IPF-5, it does not allow the filing itself. Since the form 6 information of the details of SRN to IPF-4 and IPF-7, which is not applicable or even available in cases of transferee company, since it was created, carved out of the merger or demerger action. In such scenario, there are no clarity on in the IPF rules on how a shareholder of demerged or transferee company can claim those shares from IPF account which are transferred while allotment during merger or demerger kind of corporate actions.
So I'll answer this question both from policy perspective and what is the practical perspective of filing. This question has two parts. One is for the claimant and one is for the company. When a claimant is filing a form, it's a very simple form. It's probably a 2-pager form. Probably we can simplify it more if we get good feedback. What is asked is that who are you? The claimant, his KYC, from which company you want to claim. Obviously, you want to claim from the authority, but authority, the fund would have been transferred, the share would have been transferred from X company. The third is how much shares you want to claim, how much amount you want to claim. Fourth is the demat account in which you want the share. Fifth is the bank account in which you want the amount. And sixth is supporting documentations. Now, from the claimant perspective, suppose X company is the transfer company. I will say that X company, I'll give you a real-time example. Suppose Glaxo has been taken over by HUL, or suppose Reliance Geo Finance has come from the Reliance. Now he wants to say that at least you would know that who I am and the folio number for which you are claiming. That information you have to take from the company while receiving an entitlement letter, that folio number. So, and the amount or the number of the shares. What we say is that is enough for the claimant. We don't want any SRN number. Even if you fill a wrong amount or a wrong number of shares, but the right number and company has verified, we are processing essentially the verification report of the company. The claimant form is for the company's per user. So that ends, whether it's a corporate scheme of merger, demerger, nothing to do with the claimant. He just needs to know who I am and his essential details, and the company, basically, which he wants to whether do it through our search facility or through entitlement letter of the company. Now for the company. Now the company, if the company secretary is verifying at a present date, he would know that he has transferred it to the authority on whose behalf. As I understand, under the Companies Act and the SEBI regulations, shareholder data is a permanent data. Suppose a company has demerged from a company, or another company has merged, the company secretary or the company will have the shareholder data, whether it's in physical form or a depository form. The only question is, what is the transaction number through which it has been transferred? We have given an enabling facility in the verification report that you say, yes, it has been turned around for an amalgamation or scheme. You put in yes. Suppose you are filing it for a company which has merged into your company. You will put in that person's that company's SIN number, and it will allow the verification report shall allow you to put up all the transaction number, SRN number of IPF-1, 4, and 7, which belongs to that transfer company. Suppose Glaxo has merged into HUL. Now HUL is filing. So if HUL says for this claimant, it's a merger amalgamation case, you select yes. You put in the SIN number of Glaxo, previous Glaxo. The system will check whether it is the status is inactive. That is, it is amalgamated. It will allow HUL to fill all the SRN number which belongs to Glaxo. But still, they, as you know, the real world complexities are different, and it's real time. We share our learnings. Still, if somebody is facing issues, we have companies which have come to us saying that still our merger schemes were different, our compromise and arrangement schemes were different, and these have not been taken care of. As I said in the starting, we are open to all the ideas in the world where any practical issues are there. Any other practical issues, tell it to ICSI. ICSI tell us to IPFA and NCA 21. We are here to resolve. I think you are on mute, Pavanji.
How to address IPF-4 and IPF-7 SRN query?
IPF-7 SRN, I told you that suppose HUL is filing for a case where Glaxo has transferred IPF-1 and 4-7. If they will, under amalgamation, put up Glaxo Pharmaceutical, if I am not mistaken, is the division which they have taken over, subject to corrections, obviously. So the SIN number they will put, so it will allow HUL nodal officer or regional officer to fill all the SRNs which were belonging IPF-1, 4, 7. It should ideally, if there is some implementation issues, you let us know.
Okay. Sir, latest question which is asking that old verification reports which have already been filed on V2 portal is getting reflected again on V3, and no official communication is received by the company as to why these verification reports are visible again under pending for action tab. And on refiling the old verification reports, it's asking for additional fees. Once we file the whole verification report and save it on user ID for downloading and affixing DSC, the same is not visible in the download section.
So rather you take the technical part and I'll take the policy part.
Okay, sir. Sir, for the additional fee matter, it is coming as per the circular approved by policy section. So the second issue, what was the second issue, sir?
That it is not downloading after saving some issues there, na?
Yeah. On refiling the old verification report is asking for additional fees. Once
additional fees,
okay.
Additional fees.
Additional fee is okay, but after saving it, some issues
once we file the whole verification report and save it on user ID for downloading, the affixing of DSC for affixing of DSC, the same is not visible to download.
So again, this is a merge ID issue because earlier the IPF EVR is filed by some different V2 ID. So now the V3 user is different. So it is not coming in the dashboard of the V3 user. So for that matter, if the ID is same, the user has to merge their ID with V2 with V3 ID. So post that they will able to access the download this SRN of EVR for downloading.
Madam, question starts from old verification report which have already been filed on V2. It means I am assuming that V2 portal is validly merged on V3.
But sir, how it got merged? If the user was different, if the email ID for merging of V2 V3 ID, the ID must be same.
Madam, if the merging has not happened, how come the old verification reports are appearing in new ID?
So for that matter, user has to take approval for migrating those SRN from the nodal officer's ID. Post that, they will able to access the EVRS.
So Pavanji, as I understand is there may be an issue of migration. Suppose what we were doing was V2 had a functionality where we email to the claimant and the company. There was an email functionality in the MCA version 2. Based upon the email, it was getting changed. So it may have happened that the would have been triggered to a email ID. The email ID was not selected through the system, but was given as extracted from IPF2, which we were showing on our website. So the email would have gone, it might have been missed by the user. So the other issues of V2 and version 3, I want a clarification from LTI that nodal officer didn't have any particular email ID or a user ID in version 2. So the nodal officer, suppose he has now created an ID in version 3 which has nodal officer role, which has a manager role or a secretary, whatever is that. Which ID he merges from V2? Because V2 might have probably his personal email ID or another email ID. Now version 3, we are going with a strict rule, one person, one email ID, whether you are in whatever role. So which email ID he has to, which ID probably he has to merge from V2, V3, Radha and LTI team.
Sir, Balram Thakur will take this up. Balram, can you please take this up? This
Yes.
user issue.
Okay. So, for example, I have filed one SR number in the V2 system with x@gmail.com. Okay. And now, if I want to check that SR number in the V3 system, then there is two options. Okay. First option is I need to log in with V2 ID in the V3 system, and then I will change my role as a required role at nodal officer and navigate to my application and do the pending action tab. Then I will able to resubmit that e-verification report. Okay. And second option is if I have already created separately in the V3 user ID, okay, in the V3 system with different email ID like y@gmail.com. Okay. So if I want to merge that V2 ID, okay, in the V3 system, then I will be able to see that SRN number which I have filed in the V2 system in the V3 record, okay, in the pending for action tab. And that Pawan sir, that question was they are not able to download. Okay, if they are able to access the SRN number and they are able to submit the form, that means there is no user ID issue, sir. Okay, maybe due to some technical issue, they are not able to download that submitted form. So request you to, sir, please share the ticket number. We will take care of, and then we will resolve this issue as a separate against the SR number. Okay, so we are getting these types of issue that they are not able to download after submission of form. So we have already fixed that issue, sir. Now user can download that submitted form, and then they will be able to affix the required DSE and upload that form, sir.
So ticket number should also have the SRN number on which they are facing this issue.
Correct.
So that we can have a probably scenario creation at our end also why they are facing that issue.
After hearing all the answers, my another question on the same explanation, whether those verification reports which are already been closed, do we really need to resubmit it again, or there should be some mechanism that the corporate should be able to submit that these verifications are already closed and these are the details? Might be some dedicated mail ID or something, some utility on the MCA V3, so that the same activity with such technical issues should not be repeated again and again.
So as we stated that there may be some pendencies, there may be migration from V2 to version 3. One case is that discrepancy was raised in version 2, it was somehow missed, and now it's showing that you have not filed. For these cases, obviously, we need a physical support, and all these cases can be resolved one-to-one with the company and the nodal officer. Second case is where the form has been migrated from version 2, it was under processing, discrepancy has not gone. Now it is going from version 3. When it is going from version 3, it has to be replied in version 3. It cannot be a case that claim form was filed in version 2, now it's processed in version 3. Now you give us a physical. Second issue is that there are very basic documents which we cannot take over an email or through physical documentation. The thing is that you cannot change the coordinates of the claimant, which he has used while filing the form. These coordinates include the bank account number and the demat account number. Any change in these has to be with the permission of the claimant, duly verified by the company, and has to be through MCA 21. Other than that, there may be probably a 10 issues, 15 issues, not more than that per company, where these issues might have been raised. That version 2, as company says that I have done my compliance filing and it was pending at the company, and now it's suddenly showing in my ID on version 3. Those issues, again, I request, these are the SRs and the company name. Very few companies, 2000, 2015, 2500 companies filing for MCA 21. We'll check it one by one, and ICSI can help us with it, and we will be resolving all those issues case to case basis.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Thank you, sir. One more query, that only 15 challan entries are allowed in e-verification.
I'll answer. So there is obviously a technical limitation in each case, especially of a web form. We have taken it up with our service provider to include, especially for a big company which has been a dividend paying company for last so many years. It may be a challenge. So you do the first 15 in the web form at the verification report. As you were doing in the version 2, you attach a PDF form duly signed by the nodal officer or the deputy nodal officer that these are the other challans for which the dividend has to be paid. We are taking into cognizance all the things which are supplied to the verification report duly authenticated. We will be taking it up technically. That suppose I'll say we are in 2024, suppose we are in 2030, that 15 which we are saying is insufficient now, 100 may be insufficient at 2037 or 2038. So the technical limitations, we are taking it up, but practical solution is you attach a PDF, and it was being done in version 2. So it is advice.
Just a suggestion, sir, just like Excel sheet, which is available for IPF 1, 2, 3, can we devise a similar solution for this also? So that.
So again, yes, that can be done, but the issue with the Excel is the validation, as you will be seeing in the next part, which I think we should move on now. It's a validation issue that suppose what you fill in the form, it has to be validated with an Excel. So it adds another parameter technically that you verify, you like an XBRL thing. You can probably give an XBRL, but then obviously it adds to complexity. So we didn't want to have complexities, especially when we are serving citizens. We want to make it simple, yes or no. So Excel may add complexity, but the suggestion is well taken. We can think about it.
Sir, last two questions, sir, relating to IPF-5 only. That IPF-7, which is now merged in IPF-1, correct? Many people have, let's say, paid the payment of unclaimed dividend, which was relating to, let's say, year 16-17, and has made through Bharat Kosh, and the transaction is showing successful on Bharat Kosh also. However, the payment status on V3 is still showing as pay miscellaneous fees. And
basically a company matter issues which we will be answering after we do IPF-1. We have an SOP in place. I'll tell you while doing IPF-1. I will cover the 3 scenarios after we do this PPT of payment being not linked. Other questions, sir?
Okay, that is all, sir, for then IPF-5.
Rather than we can move with the company form filing issues and Excel validation also in that PPT, then we take the questions simultaneously for Excel validation and all the company filings, IPF 1, 2, and 4 as stands today.
1 to
Okay.
4 have many questions, so we will go very slow on this
We are
presentation.
here. We will answer all the questions. And again, I'll tell you, some questions may not may not be, because these are specific issues. You do it through any professional institutes, CA, CS Institute. You tell us, and because CS Institute has been associated with MCA 21 for all the resolution, we will resolve all the issues.
Yes.
Be assured.
Okay. Please, please go ahead, sir, for the next presentation.
Okay, sir. So, sir, shall I move it to IPF-1 first? Gaurav, sir?
You do all the things, IPF-1, 4, and 2, and Excel validation issues. Then we will take up the question answer round together for all these issues.
Okay. Okay, sir.
One you can do 1 to 4.
So first we are starting with IPF-1. So this is, I think everybody is aware about this, is basically for the statement of amounts credited to IPF or transfer of amounts on account of share transfer to the fund. The second purpose is merged in V3, that is earlier of IPF-7 purpose. The amount which already on account of shares already transferred to the fund. So IPF-7 is merged in IPF-1 in V3. So user can select the purpose accordingly. First purpose is for IPF-1 and second purpose is for IPF-7, which was earlier in P2. So I'm giving the process flow here. User can redirect this form from company filing through IPF services, and the IPF-1 is here. It's a post login. Web forms are the post login service. So user has to log in themselves to access these forms. Earlier in V2, they are downloading in a PDF and filing them as a upload PDF option available at V2. But now, post login, these forms are available at the business user's dashboard. So this can be filing for SIN and VSIN both. There are two purposes, as I already tell. The statement of amount credited to IPF, that is for IPF-1, and the statement of transfer of amount on account of shares transferred to the fund, that is for IPF-7. So sub-purposes are related to purpose 2 only. These on shares transfer under section 124(6) and section 19(9), that is related to only for purpose 2. So, sir, as you were asked that demerger cases are not allowed in system. So, in IPF-1, we are allowing demerger cases right now. So, if user has select yes, they have to enter the INC 28 SRN. I'll show you next slide. If user is selected yes in 2A, so one more field will be displayed for entering INC 28 SRN. So user has to enter INC 28 SRN, that will validate the amalgamation or demerger cases.
Billing will start from that day.
So this field number 5, if user selected purpose 1, from A to J will be enabled. If user selected purpose 2, from K to N is enabled, and O is enabled all time. That is for other field. So stakeholder must ensure that if they are entering any amount here, the same they have to enter in the Excel, because the amount in Excel, the total amount in Excel and the total amount reflected in form should be same for validating the investor details. Now we have a section of attachment. Here 40 files user can attach. Each file size is up to 5 MB. So they can attach 40 files. That is total of 200 MB. They can attach only in IPF-1 form, and they can also download the template from form itself. Suppose attaching the Excel files. Users will submit this form after fixing DSC. After submitting this form, the status of form will be shown as pending for investor data validation. So it will take some time. It will take half an hour or 1 hour or maximum 2 hours to validate this data from Excel with form. So again, I'm saying, please make sure, because we have receiving multiple tickets that users are not able to understand what is the issue with the pending for this investor data validation, or they are getting failed because the amount is somewhere mismatched. Because we are checking from our batch, so there must be some fields where the amount is mismatched, like decimals are mismatched, and like there is a minor difference, but there is a difference. So that's why it got failed. Now if post successful validation of investor data, so the status of form will be coming as pending for DSC upload and payment. So if after that they have to affix their DSC and upload this form. Now first they have to pay the form fee. So there is two options of form fee: offline, online. They can pay the form fee. So post that, once the form fee has been paid by the stakeholders, the status of form will be coming as pending for miscellaneous fee. So earlier in V2, that there is a different process. User can pay the miscellaneous fee in a different portal, and they can file the form, and at last they are uploading the Excels. But now Excels are uploading before submitting the form, and once the Excels are validated through MC21 to batch run, post that they will able to pay the form fee, and after that they will able to pay the miscellaneous fee of IPF. So user can pay the fee. So we have two modes in MC21. First is online and second is offline. So once the status is coming as pending for miscellaneous fee payment, the action button is there, pay miscellaneous fee. That will redirect it to the NTRP portal. So this is our NTRP portal, where user has to select the service from the miscellaneous payment from the drop down. So they have to select. Here are multiple drop down services: the penalty, fine, IEPF, individual, other. So user has to select IPF, Investor Educational Protection Fund. Post that they have to enter the SRN, and the related details will be pre-filled. The amount of fee, company name, company SIN, and financial year will be pre-filled. Now, if they will proceed to pay fee option from this action button, so two options will come: online and offline. So if they want to pay online, so they have to select online option. So this is an important thing I want to inform. Please read all the disclaimers which is coming at the time of payment, because we have seen that users are not reading the disclaimers, and they have not enabled their settings as per the system displayed while they are doing the payments. The payment will fail, or they are facing some technical issue on the payments. So here it is mentioned that pop-up setting needs to be enabled on your browser to view the transaction receipt. So please ensure that the pop-up settings are enabled before you proceed for payment. So I think many users are not reading this, due to which they are facing issue while doing the payments. So please ensure that you have to correct your settings. Pop-up will be enabled, and the caches has been cleared from the system. So this is an online process. Post that, it will navigate to the multiple this payment gateway. User can select any of the option and make the payment accordingly. So this is online process. I think everybody is aware about this. Gaurav sir, can I repeat this online process, or move to offline process? Pawan sir, can you please confirm?
Please,
I think everybody is aware about this online process, no?
yeah.
Should I show it step by step?
Yeah.
So once the payment has been done through online or offline, the status will be changed to approved or reject. Now, the issues are coming in offline payment mode because users are doing payment directly to the NTRP portal, not through MCA 21. So, that payment will not verify through MCA 21 with the batch run. That's why the status will not change as a approved or approved because the status is because they are directly done the payment to the NTRP portal. So we have uploaded this PPT at IPFA website. So user has to follow this offline payment mode process. Accordingly, they have to done their payment. Otherwise, for linking the payment, uh, we we are requiring approval from IPFA for linking of any payment. The status will not change. So user has to, as I mentioned here also, that user has to enable the pop-up setting in the browser before making any offline payment. So if they select offline, click on submit, this challan will be generated. This is a e-challan. Now they have to, the two windows will come. That this is for Bharat Kosh portal. They have to pay online or offline through NEFT. So user has to click proceed. Now this is a Bharat Kosh portal. So if they already has been registered themselves as a Bharat Kosh portal, they can log in through username password. Otherwise, they can enter their bank details and submit to validate account. To proceed further, I request Niranjani, who is handling the offline issues. Niranjani, are you available?
Yeah,
Hello.
Radha, here.
So she's Niranjani from LTM. She's handling the offline issues. So Niranjani, can you please take it up further?
Yeah, Radha. So you have the slides with you, or will you move forward? Or
Yeah, I have. Yes. I'll move the slides. Just tell the process.
yeah. So as Radha has mentioned, when you select on the offline payment, we will be redirected to the Bharat Kosh portal. So here the user will have the option to log in either through the bank details or the username and password. So if they have already registered with the Bharat Kosh portal with the new username and password, they can give those details and enter. Otherwise, they can give the bank account details and log in. So once you click on submit to validate account, it will redirect to the Bharat Kosh page after the login. And here the challan will appear with the details of what you have already entered in the MCA portal. And here the amount will also be mentioned. So once you confirm here, you'll be able to download the offline deposit slip. So here we have the option to download the depositor slip. So you can click here and download this depositor slip. And after this, the user will be able to make the payment in the.
So this is a deposit slip PDF for NEFT. So deposit slip will be looking like this format. So
yeah.
Please tell about the order ID thing. If they are going, that order ID will be visible when they are going through MCA 21.
Yes, sir.
Where it is showing you, just show it so that only the payment deposit in which order ID is shown, only that is paid.
Yeah. Radha, can you move back to the previous slide?
Yeah, sure, Niranj.
No, the next one. So here, this is in the top in the SRN, this slip, if you see there, apart from the SRN, you will be able to see the Bharat Kosh order ID here.
Sir, if user is coming through the MCA 21, that order ID will be generated when they are selecting, when the e-challan is generated. So if they are directly done the payment at NTRP portal, this order ID will not be generated. That's why they are facing problem for linking of payment.
So when they are getting redirected to Bharat Kosh portal, they'll have to ensure that this order ID is present in the transaction that they are going to submit and pay.
Shall I move it to next slide, Niranjani?
Yeah, Radha. Next slide, please. Can you go to slide 43 once?
Yeah.
No, the next one, 44. Yeah, 1 second. So depositor slip. Okay, it is not available here. Okay. So when you're getting redirected from the Bharat Kosh, MCA to Bharat Kosh portal, you will be able to proceed further by giving the login details, and the order code will be automatically filled in. So in the next slide, as you see, you can download the deposit slip as well. And the offline deposit slip will be in this format. Now the status in the Bharat Kosh portal will change to of DSCRD, which is nothing but the offline deposit slip generated status. So once this status changes, the user will be able to make the payment at the bank using NEFT or RTGS. And after that, the user will again have to log into Bharat Kosh portal. So in the earlier case, if they have logged in through their user ID and password, they can use the same details to log in again. And under their track payment details, they will be able to find this transaction number. And if you observe here, the order code will be present here. So order code is the linking unique
Code
ID
of the
for
MCA to MCA with RBI, right?
Yeah, correct.
Order code, yes.
So MCA
So if
SRN
order code is not available, if you can see in a third column, order code is there. So if order code is not available, that payment will not be linked with not verified by RBI or not through batch run. So it will be linked through the approval of IPF if
Correct.
they have done the payment. Yes.
So after verifying this, the user will be required to update the UTR number here in the
Bharat Kosh portal. Here the UTR number column, transaction yet to be verified. If they have a UTR number, enter UTR number. Click on enter UTR number. They have to enter the UTR number. In post that.
Yeah, after updating the UTR number, Bharat Kosh will take a maximum of 48 hours to update this transaction after verification with RBI. And once we receive confirmation from RBI, once we receive confirmation from NTRP, the status of the SRN will also be updated.
Yeah, through batch run. It will automatically be updated within 2 working days after the confirmation from NTRP. So that is the whole flow of offline payment. Thank you so much, Niranjani.
Yeah, thanks.
Be available for QA session. Yes. Gaurav sir, can we move further for IPF2?
Yes. Move all the forms show one by one. Then we will take question answers.
Okay, sir. So IPF2 is for the process for filing statement for unpaid and unclaimed amount, which is pending with the company, and of course for the appointment of nodal, deputy nodal officer, and the removal of this resignation of deputy nodal officer also. So again, a user has to access this form through IP company filing IPF service, and there are IPF forms. So they can access the IPF2 form from here. It's again a post login service because it's a web form now. So we have a 3 purpose in IPF2. First is statement of unclaimed and unpaid amount. Second is for nodal. Third is for deputy nodal. And the sub-purpose are coming for second and third purpose only. If user select nodal, the appointment and updation will come. If user select deputy nodal, then 3 sub-purpose will come: the appointment, updation, and resignation. So accordingly, they can file this IPF2 form. Otherwise, IPF2 will be filing every year for 60 days of like AGM. Gaurav sir, correct me if I'm wrong.
To repeat.
Sir, within 60 days of AGM, I think every year IPF2 has been filed by the company, right?
Yes. Six of all the identified amount which are remaining unpaid, you have to give.
And yes, sir.
Yes. You have to. You can refer rule number 5(8) of IPF AATR rules. Okay.
So same functionality as we have defined in IPF1. So we have same functionality in all IPF form where the Excel validation needs to be done. So just I'm again repeating that user has to make ensure that the amount they have mentioned in the form is same as they will mention in the Excels. Otherwise, the validation got failed. So the users are raising issues that why it got failed. So please making sure that the amount they have entered in the form is should be matched with the Excels. They have to select the correct investment types. That we have a multiple investment types in Excels and in forms. So somewhere users are selecting incorrect investment type and they have mentioned the different amount in the Excels. So that's why it's got failed. But they are receiving emails why it got failed for the with the reason that there is amount mismatch, or if they have attached the empty Excel, because many users are attaching the empty Excel and it got failed. So we have a multiple remarks for the every failed validation. So secondly, it is filed for the appointment of nodal or deputy nodal officer. So for nodal officer, we have a drop-down facility available of the CFO, as sir has mentioned that as per rule, only CFO, CO, and the director will be become as an or company secretary will become as a nodal officer of the company. So associated person will come under the name of nodal officer tab, this field. So all the associated person will be coming in the will become in the drop down. So user can select in which will be appointing as a nodal officer of the company accordingly. And with the association of the company, all details will be pre-filled accordingly. They can enter the phone number and mobile number and email ID while appointment. Other details will be pre-filled from their association and date of board of resolution. So again, the board resolution needs to be attached. It's a mandatory attachment while appointing the nodal and deputy nodal officer of the company. So this is a STP form. After fixing DSC upload form, it will be automatically be approved for all the purposes. And the payment is also linked with this IPF2. The form fee is there only, not any miscellaneous fee is there. So they can pay through offline or online mode, as we have already discussed the online offline mode. So they can pay it accordingly, the form fee. That's it from IPF2, I think. We'll take the issues in QA session. So Pawan sir, can you please confirm me if I proceed further for IPF4? Because the flow is same.
Yes. Now you can proceed for IPF4.
Okay, sir. So IPF4 is basically for the statement of shares transferred and information of shares and unclaimed unpaid dividend not transferred to IPF. So earlier we have a form of IPF3 and V2 that has been merged in this IPF4 now. So IPF4 basically is for the filing of statement of shares which are transferred to IPF. And IPF3, the purpose of IPF3 was unclaimed or unpaid dividend not transferred to IPF. Now, the both purposes are merged in one form, and user has to file IPF4 only. So they can select accordingly the purposes. So we have a 5 purpose in this form. The last one is for IPF3 purpose. The information of shares and unclaimed and or unpaid dividend not transferred to the IPF. In that case, the Excel validation is not there. But upper 4 purpose, there is a Excel validation functionality, which is same as for IPF1 or 2. So accordingly, as per purpose, they have to select the purpose and fill the form. So if the company or bank is amalgamated, so they have to provide the SRN, the SIN or BSIN of the amalgamated company or bank. So we have received multiple tickets regarding demerger. So demerger cases are not allowed in IPF4 currently. So SRN of IPF1, they have to enter the SRN of IPF1, INV1 and 1A and IPF4 also as per the purposes selected. This is a mandatory field. D field is a mandatory field for the first 4 purposes. So accordingly, they have to fill the details for all mandatory fields. The total nominal amount of shares transferred to IPF, total number of shares transferred to IPF. These are the mandatory fields of this. And the date of advertisement, I think it's a new field in this IPF4. Earlier, it was not there. So this is this we have implemented due to compliance purpose. So the same, the 40 Excels are allowed. Each Excel size up to 5 MB is allowed to attach in this. So copy of newspaper advertisement is an order. It is mandatory attachment in case of purpose 3 and 4. Once the validation has been done, the status will become as pending for DSC approved and payment. And post that, after paying the requisite fee, this form will be STP. It will be automatically be approved. That's it for IPF4. We can have a question answer session.
Do you have a separate PPT for Excel validation, the issues which we are facing?
No, sir. Sir,
So-
because issues I have already told that they are not that the
So
amount
can you tell what is the functionality for Excel validation, how many times they can upload it, and what are the basic error codes which are generated?
So, sir, for Excel validation, they can upload. Like I think there's no time limit till the cancellation of SRN. That is a common for MCA
Yeah, I'll
21.
take it
If
up.
they are not,
I'll take it up. I'll take it up. So as we have, there are separate Excel codes, validation errors. Suppose the Excel is there. So Excel is a dynamic functionality where you have some drop down also. So you can just in the Excel try that if you will move the cursor, it will show you a drop down in case drop down has to be selected. So that drop down selection and the parameter filling help the Excel macro to sum up your data, and it will be shown at the top of the Excel. So that is now for all the Excel, the 60 Excel or 45 Excel which you have put in are summed up and checked from the form by the computer system, and it throws up error. The error you can rectify. You have 7 days time. It will give you 7 chances to upload the Excel based upon the error which you are receiving. Suppose it says that the sum of unpaid is not correct in IPF2 or IPF1. So it means that whatever you have filled as an unpaid dividend in the Excel is not matching with what you have filled in the form. So based upon that guidance, you can try and filling the Excel or correct the Excel or the form as the case may be. Most of the times what we have found, the backend team has also found, is that the error is in filling the Excel because the company users are uploading the as it is without verifying as provided by their RTAs without verifying it at their own level. So we request that the company users also verify what they are receiving from the RTA. The Excel validation is up to 2 decimal place. That is, if it is 10.25, so it should be 10.25. The validation is up to 2 decimal place. So that is for the Excel validation. You have 7 chances, consecutive chances. The Excel validation happens probably 1 hour or 2 hours. There is batch, which I think LTI can throw more light on. So the errors will be displayed or errors will be relayed on the email IDs. So for the 7 chances, you can take a look consecutive days. It is not like you can do it anytime. So once you are you are doing, suppose an error is thrown up, you try filing it. After filing, as error is thrown up, so you take till the time what is there for filling the form. Second chance, you do the same thing. But if for the 7 chances, or if you have not done it within time, it will expire. The form will expire. So Chandokji, we can take the question.
Definitely. So first question, without going into the Excel sheet, what if the offline payment or online payment error or mistake is done by the user and that payment is deducted and the form has gone into the red flag on MCA V3?
So there are 3 scenarios. I said that I'll take this question up. There are 3 scenarios. First scenario is that you have filed a form in version 2, IPF-1 or IPF-7. You have made the payment through version 2. Now, IPF-7 was a non-STP form. It had come in resubmission and you have not resubmitted at particular point of time. Or IPF-1 validation issues, Excel validation issues, the form got expired. You have to fill a fresh IPF-1, make the form fee as applicable, take the form till IPF miscellaneous fee. Now you have a SRN number, you have the payment, proof that you have made the payment through MCA 21 version 2, or you have made the payment directly to the bank account in the case of IPF-7. You have to submit a representation telling that you link the SRN number so and so on version through for this payment through which has been paid in the bank account or through version 2, version T. And this is the old SRN number which has been expired. You have to attach all these documents, the payment proof and all that, and you have to provide an affidavit duly signed by the nodal officer or the authorized person stating that you have not linked this payment with any other SRN of IPF-1 or 7 ever. Okay, and you want this, so an indemnity bond. The format can be anything, but the wordings can be like, the intent should be that the company is taking an onus that I have not linked this payment with any other SRN. I am not claiming it as a dual credit to IPF. Okay, so this is the first scenario. Second scenario is 4th July, we had intimated in advance that the payment process is going to change through our MCA or our website. But during that time, the payment has been transferred for the IPF-7 cases. IPF-7 cases, thinking that it's a business as usual scenario and they have transferred it to our account. So you have to now file IPF-1, take it to the miscellaneous fee. You have to attach the payment process, make a representation, give a payment proof, which is basically an NEFT certificate or something which you have done, because offline payment you would have done through your banker. So a bank certified payment proof and an affidavit. We will check whether the payment has been received and link it to the SRN of IPF-1 which you have filed now. Third issue is when you have made the payment directly through the NTRP, Bharat Kosh, without routing it through the MCA portal as we have shown in the PPT, where the order ID is not generated. Okay, so for these cases, you first raise a FO ticket. You raise a FO ticket and submit a representation with the proof of payment in through Bharat Kosh. We have to verify it with an affidavit. Again, we will link it to the IPF-1 for which you have made basis on the affidavit. There may be issues where this IPF-1 has gone into cancellation, where you want to link that. So don't worry about it, whatever be the status. If you want to link it to a particular SRN of IPF-1 which you have filed, whether it is cancelled or not, we will not ask you to refile it, because the SOPs was being finalized. There were different scenarios, as I told, that 3 scenarios we have now come up. So don't worry about that, whether this IPF-1 has been expired or is about to expire. You send it a representation in the name of General Manager IPF Authority, because it's an affidavit. Get it couriered or sent to the IPF authority. Also, you can send it through an email, but as I said, that's an affidavit and indemnity bond type of a thing. You will have to get it delivered on the onto IPF onto the to the authority. Whosoever has given it need not send it. We are segregating the issue wise and we are taking it up. I hope it clarifies
Yes,
all
sir.
the issue of leaking.
So you mean to say even though it has gone into red, turned red on V3 portal,
whether it is red, amber, anything, or it is cancelled, don't worry. If you want to link it to that, it will be linked to it, provided we are able to verify that the payment has been received in our account, whether in version 2, whether in bank account or in NTRP, based upon your affidavit.
Okay. Sir, typically after receiving the affidavit, how many days it will take to get the approval or something like that? If you can guide the
So the has been probably we had taken an approval of the ministry for the SOP. We will be coming out with a general guidance circular, and we are whatever representation we have received, we are sorting it out. So give us a 15 days to 1 month time, but you need not worry about those cases that if my IPF1 will be cancelled, what will happen. So you need not worry that much the authority assures you. So the technicality part, because it's a linking of a payment which needs to be verified at different end, the banker, our banker, or the version 2 or the NTRP. So all the cases cannot be done in a particular TAT, because sometimes the verification happens, sometimes the verification may not happen in that TAT. So the TAT depends upon the verification of the payment received in a government account.
Okay. Understood, sir. So I'll go to many of the payment related queries. I will not take now because you have explained it and you have agreed also, means it is a great relief for all the stakeholders that even though the form is turning red, you would be entertaining the corporates by way of affidavit. It should reach you, and in 15 to 20 days, working days, you would be able to process those forms. It is a great
And one
relief.
more issue is if we can, because the company stakeholders 1,500, 2,000, I think they can go through the ICSI route also if they are more comfortable that way also, that you can consolidate it and send it. It helps us that it is coming through a regulator or a professional institute. So
Definitely.
if that is the route that is acceptable, we are fine with that also.
Yes, sir. We are committed to all our stakeholders at ICSI, and we are already providing all the help to all our members and even non-members also many times for probable solutions. And our team headed by Deepa Khatri madam is really working hard on this. Sir, I'll take query IPF1 and payment of miscellaneous fee through NTRP. Query 1, IPF-7 merged into IPF1. However, dividend against shares already transferred to IPF account was transmitted and IPF1 filed for unpaid dividend transferred, the linking of payment. So you have already given the IPF1 is not approved, so cannot be used at IPF4. So it would be.
So IPF1, because you are transferring the corresponding share, so the linking issues will be resolved. You just tell us in your representation that your IPF4 is also pending for. We'll initiate it faster. I don't know the company name. So, but as you may appreciate that linking of the payment is subject to that verification. So after that you can file IPF4.
Okay. So unless and until IPF1 is approved, IPF4 cannot be processed.
Yes, when IPF1 is filed for the dividend pending for 7 years.
Yes. Then IPF1, which is now merged from IPF7, we have already made the payment. Then, sir, it is the similar kind of, so I am skipping it. Payment of amount with respect to IPF1 made through NACH instead of Bharat Kosh. how to get it linked to IPF-1 file, ticket raised with MCA, but no adequate response. I think Radhaji has covered this on how to link the IPF payment if it is made through NACH format of banking. All the stakeholders can go through the webinar, which would be available on ICSI YouTube channel. So you can again
Also, Pavanji, we have updated this PPT at IPF website also, so they can process this, follow the steps as mentioned in the PPT, and it will resolve, this issue will resolve. Please ask them, they will not directly done the payment to NTRP portal, they have to go to the MCA 21 directly.
Definitely. And this webinar would also be posted on ICSI YouTube channel. So along with that PPT, the voiceover would also help them to understand exact issues. Thank you, Radhaji. And the company.
Thank you so much, sir.
Next issue.
Most of the queries, when I am reading, it is related to IPF-7, which is merged into IPF-1, and payment was done and payment is not processed either by Bharat Kosh or by NACH or MCA portal. So most of the issues which the stakeholders are facing or were facing was in the payment only. I would request at the last, if we get the time, to quickly go through again that payment process so that all people would be on the same page, if time permits. Provide the option to update the payment details in pay miscellaneous fee. It is already mentioned that it can be, it can also be paid through pay miscellaneous fee section in this webinar. Payment. We are unable to make payment of dividend entitled to IPF folio through ECS NACH mode. Please advise us how to proceed further to file the form and pay dividend to IPF. The question is saying that they are not able to pay the dividend itself. Which was it?
So I understand that it will be the dividend on the shares held by IPFA. So earlier purpose was IPF-7.
Yeah.
You cannot pay through NACH mode now, National Clearing House. You have to now file IPF-1, route it through IPF miscellaneous fee MCA 21, go to NTRP, select offline mode, and then through offline mode you have to pay payment through NEFT or RTGS. Essentially, what we are saying is, suppose you have a 1 lakh shareholder on the record date of your any corporate benefit dividend. IPFA will be holding 20,000. So essentially, what you do is, especially for demat holders, where like IPFA is having a demat account, you give the instruction to the RTA and to the linked bank account, the dividend is distributed through your bank. For physical also, wherever the details of bank is available folio wise, you do that. Other comes to the unpaid dividend account, or you issue dividend warrant and all that stuff. Actually, what we are saying is, we are holding a demat account. We have a linked bank account now, which we have fees for the credit. You will not be able to do the dividend transfer through your RTA, through NACH mode, or through dividend distribution process, which you are following through your bankers. You will have to do it mandatorily through MCA 21. You have 30 days time to pay the dividend after declaration. So for IPFA, you hold it in your bank, do the process of IPF-1 filing, do the miscellaneous fee, receipt for offline payment, and ask your dividend, the bankers to do the NEFT on based upon the depositor slip which you have taken through the NTRP. Why we are doing it? Because as I told earlier, we were receiving the payment through bank, filing through MCA 21. There was a manual process of reconciliation, of verification, which was delaying the refund. Now, when you are doing it through MCA 21, it's auto-linked. There is no manual process. It is STP form. It will be approved. It will help the stakeholder, that is company, as well as claimant, as claimant will be able to claim that amount simultaneously with all the other amount.
Sir, as regards claiming the amount, within how many days of approval of IPF-5, the shares or the amount would be credited to the claimant?
So
Because
ideally,
one of the query is IPF-5 is approved 2 years before.
yeah.
And still
So
the
this, I'll
stakeholder-
tell you. This webinar was for the company stakeholder, but for the claimant stakeholders also, this particular case where 2 years you are saying that the dividend has not been paid, you give us the SRN number. Let us check it why it has not been paid. Pendency aside, what we will try to do is that first we pay the shares. Shares are paid through depositories transaction of market transactions, and then we do the dividend payment. So it's not a concurrent project. It's not a simultaneously project. It is concurrent, that one after the other. The issue what we do is that there is various linkages like PAN to Aadhaar linkages where the demat account or the bank accounts are marked inactive. Then there are mergers. The person has not updated the IFSC code in the bank account, or suppose he has filed in some IFSC code here, some IFSC code in the bank account or the checks, and the account get deactivated. So in these cases where it is not transferred for 2 years, what I can understand is that that might have been deactive. We would have tried. So this particular SRN, if you have that, you send it across to the team. We will check it, have a look, and we will get it done as quickly as possible, provided the account provided are active.
And generally, in how many days, sir, it happens?
Normally, I'll say that for a shares approved, we do have some pendency left. It happens in about the shares are transferred within 30 days to approval, and likewise for the dividend. Because of the bulk filing, we are having some pendency, but we are trying to sort it out.
Okay, understood. Sir, IPF-7 through IPF-1 portal, however, the portal asks to pay, let's say, miscellaneous fees, which is equivalent to the amount of dividend already credited to IPF. It is.
They have credited it directly to the bank account, as I told, so it's a linking issue.
Yeah, but it is again asking the whole amount. They have paid the dividend, and when
have paid, they have to pay through the miscellaneous fee link. Now they would have paid otherwise. So now it's a linking issue.
Okay, so can this amount which was paid earlier be claimed as refund?
I'm saying that you have to, whatever you have paid, whether you have paid in V2 or through the bank account or directly to the NTRP, you have to ask IPFA to link that account. There is no process of refund.
Okay, and if that linking is not happening within the stipulated time,
you have to, because it has to be done manually now. The correct process, as we had provided well before 4th of July, and help kit is also that you have to take it through MCA 21. MCA 21, if you follow the process as per PPT, will take you the NTRP. How to identify that it has been done correctly, it will be automated, is that the NTRP slip should have an order ID. If it's an order ID, it will be done automatically. Otherwise, you will have to approach IPF authority for linking based upon the documentation, that is representation, affidavit, and proof of payment.
So no need to pay again through.
No need to pay again. No need to pay again. You will not be able to pay again because you will pay it out of the unpaid dividend account or the dividend declared account. It's not like 600 rupees form fee that you can pay. The money has to, what you are transferring to IPFA is essentially what you have in your unpaid dividend account or dividend your dividend account at the time of declaration. So once the money is already been transferred, you have no money left to transfer it again.
Correct. I do understand. So in that case, it is advisable to the stakeholders that don't get panic. Don't pay another amount which is equivalent to dividend amount. Just follow the process explained by Gauravji with a covering letter, representation, affidavit, approach the authority. if you are not approaching the authority, then that compliance would be pending. So approach the authority, IPF authority, and get it linked with your form and get the form approved so that you can comply with IPF provisions. For making payment or transfer to IPF, Bharat Code does not open automatically. There is no pop-up blocked.
So as I think Radha has given the PPT, there was a pop-up blocker issue. I think most you have to disable. Radha, am I correct? You have to disable or enable?
Enable, sir.
Enable. So that you follow now in our PPT. Actually, the note is given in the MC21 at the last. People forget to read the note. So now in our PPT we have a call-out box that you do this step also. So you have to read the instruction. It will take you, MC21 will take you to the NTRP portal. You don't have to go to NTRP portal yourself.
Okay. IPF-1 not accepting decimal values. Kindly suggest how to proceed.
Radha, has it been done? Resolved, I think.
Yes, sir. It is resolved.
You
It's
tried
resolved.
now, it has been resolved.
Okay, because you are asking that validation with the exact figure which is mentioned in the Excel sheet, and that
It was
utility.
a technical issue. It has been resolved. I think I have been given to understand 1 month back. You try it. If it's
Yes,
not
sir.
working,
It has been resolved.
Yes. Okay. The Excel template given in the form accepting and validating the decimals in the statement. However, the same validate Excel is coming as failed investor data in V3 portal.
failed investor data, you would have got a actual reason for failure on your email. Suppose whether unpaid dividend account has been, if IPF2 is there, unpaid dividend account is data is failed or underlying shares is failed. Based upon that, you just have a look at your Excel. Still, if you are very confident, what we receive is that out of 100, suppose I say if 100 we try to analyze, 99 issues are at the Excel level. So you check it. If you still think that the Excel is all well, and because it's a computer which is checking, validating the issue, it's a program. So if it's working for everybody, it should work until unless there is probably some type of a Excel, or it's basically a provision which has not been thought of while programming. So at that point of time, if you think that it's the computer which is at the failure, which is failing you, then you raise a ticket, provide us the details. We will be checking the details manually also. But I don't think, Radha, have you faced any? Have you got any issues?
Yes, daily basis we are receiving 20 to 30 tickets regarding that amount mismatch in case of IPF2 or 1.
But
we are giving resolution. Yes, they are giving resolution over ticket that which of the field amount is mismatch. That we are also providing.
We are giving the error code to the email also, no? That the
error code we are giving, but that amount field we are not giving over email. So
you enable that. You code it in the system that
we have to check.
You check it, and because the reason code we are giving, that what field is
the reason code we are giving, sir. So where is the mismatch? The sum of amount is mismatch. So that particular field is mismatch. But amount we cannot show, sir. Legal perspective, amount we cannot show.
Yes. So my request is that
it would be great, because the people who have submitted those data already know the data. So there is no data privacy violations or anything, and you are communicating with the same stakeholder. So it would
what we are doing is that, suppose you have created 10 Excel. What we are doing is an intelligent person will create an Excel, will have a form and the Excel same, and the computer will check. Okay, computer will check. We have programmed the computer program that it will check. Now computer throws up an error and it says that this is the field in which error is there. The person will again check and upload it. We are giving 7 times. We are thinking that this is 7 times, the issue will be resolved. But again, without checking if a person has filed again, trusting his RTA, then we are given an option that you give an FO ticket and somebody will check manually there can be an issue in the computer or in the Excel. Either ways, what we say is that the computer is 99% correct, and the 1% chance is that the computer is failing you and the manual thing is there. Again, we will think that it's an Excel validation which is done. We can move it to XBRL, but then it increases the cost at the company X level. So give us a solution. Whether it's a generic issue or it's a specific issue. For specific issues,
It is generic issue.
It's a generic issue.
Yeah, because one of many of the questions are on that validation. One of the question is also suggesting asking that Excel sheets which are attached in IPF forms, including 1, 2, and 4, are not getting validated despite all the amounts being similar everywhere and no error in the amounts, not even decimals. Still, it is not getting validated.
So,
But sir, on daily basis,
what I will suggest is that 5-10 issues of 2 issues of IPF-1 or IPF-2 or IPF-4, ICSI takes it up, okay, whatever, and then because ICSI team is with our help desk team, MCA help desk team, they contact the help desk team Radha, and we do a random manual check that why it's failing, and probably 10 issues you can take it up, 10-15 issues, and rather you check those 10-15 issues and coordinate with the ICSI team.
okay.
And then we come to a result why it is why it's not happening.
Definitely. One of the question, I have filed as a professional in V2 for my claimants IPF-5. Okay.
Claimant issues, I think we can because this is basically for a company matter program. So
Okay.
for the claimant issues, we do another webinar, or
it is only asking, sir, that I am not able to merge V2 with V3.
For the individual user, you are saying rather process
for the professional user. In earlier V2, we used to file or were allowed to file for claimant also. And
so basically, the person has earlier V2 didn't have individual user or registered user and a user concept. So basically, it's an registered user which has to be merged. Rather, registered user merging V2 V3.
So it's same which I showed in PPT. They have to go into profile update option, and there is the option of a merge V2 ID. So they have to click on it. The one pop-up window will come. They have to enter their V2 username and password. And after 24 hours, they will check. They will able to access the V2 SRNs at their V3 dashboard. But for that matter, that our email ID should be same, sir. PAN, if PAN is there, so a PAN and email ID should be same.
For V2 and V3, so they would be able to see all the forms.
Correct. Yes, sir. By clicking on merge V2 ID.
Okay. Great. Then the question is asking, please activate SRN number of IPF-1 form, which was already filed on V2 portal, so that we can make payment of IPF challans on V3.
No, so you will have to file a new IPF-1 in this case.
Okay. So, but what about amount, sir?
Take it till the pay miscellaneous fee stage.
Yeah,
you have to pay the form fee again.
Again, only form fee, not the dividend amount.
Miscellaneous fee, I told you, you cannot pay. You don't have that amount remaining in your unpaid dividend account or the dividend distribution account. It's already done. So you take it up to IPF miscellaneous fee, then we will link it up.
Okay. Sir, form is showing the investor details are pending for verification, but no option for verification is provided. And then received an email after 5 days that the verification is failed, unable to upload the form.
So this is basically Excel validation. So you would have filed it. So I think it should have the batch run happens probably rather, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 hours or 8 hours.
Correct, sir. No, it's minimum half an hour and maximum, I think it's 2 hours.
So you would have missed that email. But if any error is encountered, you can file the form, resubmit the form. Radha, how to resubmit the form in case of Excel validation? Can you tell?
Yes, sir. So once it got failed, say there is a option of edit form under pending for action tab at the dashboard. So user can edit the form accordingly if they have entered any incorrect amount detail which got mismatched with the Excel, or attach the correct Excel in the attachment section and again submit the form. Post that it will status will change to pending for this investor data validation. So this is the process. When it got failed, the edit form option is there to edit the form.
Okay.
It helps.
Okay. Next question. We have uploaded IPF-1 for transfer of unpaid dividend to IPF authority. However, we are unable to generate offline challan for transfer of funds through NEFT. The website keeps loading and doesn't move ahead. How can
I think we have given the PPT. Still, it's not followed. You take an FO ticket, you raise an FO ticket and send it across through ICSI, and we will have one-to-one session with the LTI team to resolve your issue.
Okay. Contingency insurance you have already added. V2 to V3 after my migration, IPF filed by the claimants are not able to upgrade in the user.
That we have said that you can in your profile you have to merge the two IDs.
Okay. Unable to download e-verification report, hence we are unable to go ahead.
It is
So they are
because
not
of the
upgrading.
nodal officer
Yes,
role
they are
which you
not.
have not enabled properly or not merged. Use the PPT which rather you share the PPT across to ICSI team, all the things, and you also get it uploaded on the website, and you also share it officially through me to the ICSI team.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Can we cancel the form filed by mistake, if any, for wrong
Which
amount?
form? Which form?
IPF-1.
Radha?
Sir, I think Balram will confirm this. I think through user
Yes,
ticket.
you can cancel that SRN number if payment is not done of the form. Okay, you can cancel the SRN number and you can file the fresh form.
Okay.
If payment is done, then in that case, you cannot cancel the SRN number.
Okay.
Once form is done, it will be cancelled automatically if you have not done you have
within the prescribed
7 days. It is like amber, green, and all that. Red, now after red, it will be cancelled automatically.
Okay.
Yes.
We have inadvertently deposited our dividend into IPF account directly instead of through IPF-1.
Form linking issue, which I have already explained.
Okay.
Now I think all the questions will be the same. The only issue that is left is of the demerged companies. So the demerged companies, I'll request the demerged companies. There are 2-3 companies, and we have handholded all of them in filing the verification reports. As if there are still some companies which are facing, which have now come in, which have been incorporated or which have been incorporated by a scheme of a demerger. It's a fresh company which have come from the transfer companies through a demerger scheme from the transfer company, still facing an issue. You contact ICSI. We have handholded all the companies and provided them resolution, because there are generic resolution which I tell you over a webinar. There may be a specific issues that because of the design of your scheme, where we have to enable you in a particular way. So if any such companies are there, please contact through ICSI or through IPF authority, and we will be to IPF authority, and we will be more than willing to help.
Sir, one last question. Issue of switching of the profiles between nodal officer role or any other role. Initially, the profile of nodal officer was registered under the business user and professional role. Post interaction with IPF authorities, we degraded the profile to registered user, and then again changed to business user, nodal officer role. Okay. However, we were not able to file non-IPF forms with this profile as the role was of nodal officer. we tried adding the role of manager or secretary. However, the system did not ask for the membership number of the company secretary, due to which DSC registration issue was being faced while filing non-IPF forms.
Radha, LTA team, please take it up.
Okay, sir. So we already discussed that professional cannot be upgrade their role as a nodal officer, and nodal officer cannot degrade their role as a professional. So in that case, user can upgrade their role as a member, manager, secretary, or authorized representative. And once they select the manager secretary, then they need to enter the SIN number, okay, where their company secretary is there. So in that case, company SIN need to be approved that user ID, then they will be able to file for the form of that company.
Okay. Okay.
Company should have essentially filed the form for their appointment. I think what Ram is
Yes.
PIR 12.
Correct, sir. And that service is available, sir. That company user ID need to approve that manager secretary ID through FO services option. Then that
Yes.
role will be changed.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So we have come to the back end of this webinar today, and on my own behalf and on behalf of our ICSI, I am really thankful to Anita Shah Akela Madam, Joint Secretary, MCA and CEO IPF Authority, Ravit Kumar ji and Gaurav Gupta ji, Deputy Director IPFA. Gaurav sir, you have really given all the inputs which were expected from IPFA, and we're really thankful to your participation, deliberations, and all the inputs you have given. I'm also equally thankful to Radha Sharma ji, Niranjani, and Balram Thakur ji, and all the people from LTI, MCA, and IPFA for making this webinar really interactive one, and you provided very apt input. I would say many new queries would be there when we again meet for the, let's say, stakeholders interaction or queries. And all the delegates, please note, I'm repeating, Companies Act 2013 at icsi.edu. And whatever solutions they have given, whatever requests they have made, so as to share your SRN details or any other technical issues, you please share it with Deepa Khatri Madam and team at ICSI. And we would forward all those queries and questions in a compiled manner to IPFA and MCA both. And let us hope that all the queries related to all the issues related to IPFA and form filing, payment, and everything would be done. What I have seen from the questions, major issues were relating to Excel files, validations, and also the payments and its credit. So they have provided all the solutions to us, and I'm really thankful from ICSI's side that you find the time today on this busy day of Monday, I would say, at the start of the week. And this webinar recording would be available to all the delegates on ICSI web portal, or not web portal, but the YouTube channel. So with this, I thank you all, Gauravji, Radhaji, Niranjaniji, Balramji. Thanks a lot. And I also appreciate the efforts put in by our CLGC committee, President Sir, Vice President Sir, Manish Gupta Sir, the Chairman of CLGC committee, and also Deepa Khatri Madam and all the team of the Directorate. And thank you. And I declare that this webinar is over. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.